Hey, what's up, guys? I am back here again. In this episode, we're going to be stripping the hull of the stern. As you can see, I've already done that here. What I've done is basically I went back a little bit. I took all of the upper decks and stuff off, and there was a... and what I did is that I bent this piece here back. Kind of like so. There's this strip of piece right here. It just bent back a little on itself, and basically it goes right about back. Basically, when you break it, it goes. When you break this piece that bends back, it goes right about to here. It's basically the same thing on the other side. Now on this side, what this piece does is it kind of like hangs and drapes out and kind of like just lies on the ground. And how that happened is when it collided, the outer hull just kind of like busted as the lower parts dug in under the dirt, and basically just the G's just flung it out ahead of it, kind of like it'd be easier to understand if I explained to you why, but basically the rivets or whatever that were on that section of the hull went over it and just flung off, if you will, if you know what I'm saying. So basically this is just gonna hang over the edge while this section is basically buried. And as for this, it's basically the same thing on the other side. And where I cut it is you can't see it on this side, but I basically went back to this little where it turns black on this section right here, and that's where I cut it. And also another way, and also where this break is, just so you know, if you were to go back, you see like this V thing here, this V thing, and basically right here along the staircase, if I were to put this on, I just basically, and it would that crack would basically line up directly with where the hull broke off, and from there on, this hull is basically just lying down. I'll show you what that looks like here later on in the video. Real quick, I'd like to explain the toothpicks for a second. I haven't glued them down or anything, but basically what I'm going to do is, with the hull hanging out and stuff, you can like, in this crack right here, you can see this rib cage or rib, if you will. Well, it's just this one. This other one was support. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those little pink sheets of paper and I'm going to slide it over top of it. And I'm going to do the same thing all along the other side, because the hull on this side was completely ripped off. Like completely, with the exception of the upper decks. Like these windows right here are actually like that little set of windows right there, which connects to this piece right here, are actually still intact. This is the same side of the ship, and you can see them intact right here. So and also what I'm gonna do is this time I'm gonna, since you can also see all of the decks and stuff on this side, what we're going to do is we're going to drill, instead of just having one or two, the one visible one and the one that just supports it, we're going to have the rib cages going all along this section here. And basically what I did was I took a toothpick and made it slightly shorter. Now I'm going to have to cut the ends off because it's still a little too long. And basically, I cut it a little less than a half, like, 3/8 maybe. And then I took the same side and cut it like that. Anyways, they should be about this long, if you will, about as long as the hull, itself. And you can I usually prefer to go a little longer, like I did, because once you're done putting the decks in place, you can always trim it down a little bit, if you get what I'm saying. So anyways, I'm going to do all that, and yeah, we'll be right back. Real quick, guys, how I actually drilled out the hole in this underpart here is you want to take a Dremel and kind of like just gently ease back and forth from where you want the cut to be. Kind of like how I did here. You can kind of see where I ran it. All I did was just run back and forth with this head right here. Make sure it's like nice and small. You can't really... nice and small so it runs along here. You may want to do it from the underside. You may not even have this problem if you're using, say, a bigger model than I am, or a different model, because it may not even have this section right here. And then what I did, once it was thin enough to make a cleaner cut, I and avoid like damaging the the hull and melting it with the Dremel, because I've done that before, is I took a razor blade and just like gently like cut across the side of it, and then you could bend the hull out of place. So, yeah. Okay, I'm back, guys. Unfortunately, this is going to be the end of the video. I really didn't have a lot of time to do with this today. And this was really kind of a hard project. I've been at this for like 5 hours now. The stern really is a tricky section. But anyways, I glued these pieces together and glued them on here. I used a sheet of paper to do that, just so you know. No, to make it easier here, I'll show you. I actually... oh, maybe... that's not good. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's not supposed to be glued on yet. I need to do more stuff with this section before I can glue it back on. And so anyways, I held it together with one of these pieces of paper, and then I glued the edges and stuff just so it holds on better. And and basically what happened is when it landed, it broke off and kind of like skid across the ground like that and dug into the ground. And this, yeah, you should have something bent out a little like this. And then, give me a second to set this down gently. It's nice and solid now, I think. And for the decks, I only did like the upper ones, and I used this sheet of paper. I didn't bother with lower ones because most of that was buried, and I really didn't care. They were a little too difficult for me, and I really did not care for them. But yeah, anyways, this entire section is open with the exception of scraps hanging down and stuff. I bent back over this side. Once again, went a little bit beyond this black part right here where it jumps up, kind of. For a better image, you can go back earlier into the video, but yeah, kind of like that, and kind of just bends off like that. So yeah, that's basically all I've done. I've glued all these sections back together, so this is now one piece again. And I'm really sorry for cutting this video short again, guys. I really wanted to do more stuff with it, but I figure my time is basically up to do this today, so I was kind of hoping I'd have more to go over with you. Anyways, I guess it's looking nice. I just really look forward to seeing what it would look like when it's done. I mean, the bow, I was kind of I guess. This is probably going to be too, by the looks of it, but it has the same shape as the stern's wreckage. So yeah, in the next video, we'll be so now that the main mess is done, we'll be bending all this stuff back. Well, not bending, we just did that. We'll be ripping this deck here apart. I'll be putting in another pink thing to fill in the rest of that deck. hopefully I can find something to make them engines, and then after that, I guess I'll just put the whole thing together, and we'll go down to the little details like the mast snapped back over to this side, the crane hanging over the edge, and yeah, little stuff like that, putting the propellers back on. I honestly can't wait to see this entire thing when it's done. I mean, it keeps on looking promising, but it's not really all that promising. Like, it's nothing like you'd want to have in a movie, but it's definitely something that would be interesting for, like, a home model or something, and that's what it's supposed to be, mostly, just like your little own home model to make. So anyways, guys, I will be ending the video off here. Have a great day, and as always, yeah, I got nothing. This is the first time I actually did something like this. Be cool.